I didn't know that when it first came out, it was like, and then it was voted #1 movie. And then as time goes on, it just gets like pushed down and down and down. And it fucking deserves it. It's the most mid movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hola, you beautiful buttes.
Ciao.
That's a word, right? Buttes.
Yeah.
It's like, people who are beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's like a mountain range type thing.
Oh, that's
like
like
the crested
Butte, right?
Yeah,
like
the butt.
Butte, Montana, right?
The butt Montana, yeah.
Sorry about that. I don't know. Weird tangents to start the podcast on. We're not talking about mountains, Montana, or geography this episode. I mean,
sadly not.
We'll see where it goes, right? And we can't ever really call what happens here on the Joystick Show.
Right.
Can't call especially what's going to happen on episode 132 of the Joystick Show. It's what you're watching right now. So
Correct.
go ahead and like the episode. You don't even know what we're gonna say.
No, you
This
don't.
could go spiraling downhill into a fiery disaster.
This could cut into a second Dominican Republic episode.
Yeah, right. You
Yeah.
don't even know where this is going,
Yeah.
right? So just go ahead and like it and stay along for the ride.
Mhm.
Hopefully you'll actually like it by the end of it. And subscribe while you're at it.
No.
No?
No.
So like but not subscribe?
Subscribe and maybe like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that if we're being
Like
real,
if you like it, yeah.
Yeah. Just subscribe. Just hit that button.
Yeah. Just
If
hit
you're
it.
watching this video and you're
Just hit
not
it.
subscribed, just do it, okay? You don't have to click the bell. That'd be cool, but just
This goes on for 50 minutes. We just So yeah, your cursor is on the right side.
move it a little to the
Yeah.
Ah, man. So is that the spiel? Is the spiel over?
I think that's it. Yeah.
That's the spiel.
I think that's the spiel for today.
I'm about to say something very like a cliche of the Joystick Show.
Yeah.
It's words that have been muttered many times on this show, and if I'm being honest, it's just because I'm true. I want to know. I'm curious. What have you been up to, Del?
Yeah. So definitely when you go on a vacation, there's like an adjustment period when you get back.
Definitely.
And me and my girlfriend did this thing where instead of just like being off for a couple of days, like you come back, you fly in, you have a relaxing week or whatever after the vacation. No, just immediate work.
Yeah.
We landed. I immediately had to like write something like a project for school or something. She had work the next day at 7 a.m. I had school Tuesday, Wednesday, and I actually had stuff due for my internship finally, which is like one of the first times I feel like I had someone send me like a corporate email, like this has to be in by tonight, and I'm like, damn, I'm in a movie, Like I thought I was in like a tropical movie, I was in the Dominican Republic.
No, it still is, but this is the twist. We're in Act 3 now.
No. I'm back. I'm in a different film.
Oh, okay. It's a sequel.
Yeah. So I'm in a movie where I'm just like I'm at the beginning now. I'm in a different movie where I'm like the boring corporate guy, and it's something's gonna happen. I'm gonna switch bodies with Ryan Reynolds. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That but I feel like I do have a rant maybe. Originally it was going to be about like the weather.
Okay.
Because
Coming from the beautiful
85 degrees
to like a nice 40, 50s.
a nice
here.
40 with terrible, by me the winds are horrible.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
And now it's the worst because it's like I live by the beach already, so now I'm by just a worse, sad, shittier beach.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's not
It's
even
like by
hot.
comparison, there's no palm trees.
Like the juxtaposition is just like and it was like rainy too. But my main gripe, it has to do with I had a quiz for one of my classes, and this class is basically the name of the class is like Journey Through Italian Cinema or something like that. So every week I've had to watch an Italian movie because I was away. I couldn't have watched any, so I had to catch up on 3 Italian movies at least. I had to watch a movie that at one time was voted as the #1 movie of all time. And that was the movie Bicycle Thieves, which I didn't know that when it first came out, it was like, and then it was voted #1 movie. And then as time goes on, it just gets like pushed down and down and down. And it fucking deserves it. It's the most mid movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Every single Italian film I've watched besides this, especially after when we watch Bicycle Thieves, and then we watch 2 Fellini films, fucking blows it out of the water. It's like, what the fuck did we just watch? Like this shitty movie. So have you seen Bicycle Thieves?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips from it.
I know like
the whole film shit of
Yeah. So I guess like movies didn't exist, but in the like there weren't any good movies, so we had to give it to something.
Yeah.
But like, you're just watching this movie. I didn't know that, and I went on after the fact, and I was like, no fucking way that this was like seen as like you know,
the number one movie.
the number one movie. And then even in like the 80s, it was like number 18, number 22. I'm like, that's really high for a movie that I did not enjoy a single bit.
Yeah.
So it's essentially post-war Italy. Guy's really down on his luck. He has no other way to make money. And he's like, we really need to get a job, right? So he looks, and that there's a job that you go around and you post flyers.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get this job, you need a bicycle. So he pays all this money. He like pawns all of, like his sheets and like linens to then now buy a bicycle. And the bike gets robbed on like the first fucking day on the job. And now he's got to go search for this bicycle. But the main crux of this movie that I really have to like drive home is that like all of the tragedy gets sucked out of it when the movie we watch after it is I Vitelloni by Fellini, where it's about 5 dudes in their 20s who do not work because they don't have to.
Lit, yeah.
Like they came out 5 years after. It's
they
like
made a movie about us, like
literally, and it's like this guy, he wants to be a filmmaker. I'm like, that's Bobby, and it's like this guy, he's like the philosopher, and I'm like, is this just us? It's just, and it's like I was just watching this movie, and it's like. In context, Bicycle Thieves is now the worst fucking movie in human history. When that if this dude just got any other fucking job for 4 years, he could have been living nice. He could have moved villages and moved in with these people. They weren't even rich. It was just like they were like middle class Italians.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just live and do fucking nothing, get married out of wedlock? You know, this guy seems like he has it way better planned out than this dude who can't find a fucking bicycle.
Yeah.
And it's like no one wants to help this dude who got his bicycle stolen. I'm like, good. Good. I hope, you know, there's like no happy ending. I'm like,
it's that really like simplistic European cinema where it's just like about one thing and they try to make it way deeper than it actually is.
And it's like, this is his livelihood. And then you have Fellini where like everything is like symbolic of another thing. And it's like, oh yeah, I based these characters off the Greek gods. Like way cooler, more in like actual in-depth shit. And I'm just like,
have you guys seen Life is Beautiful?
Wait, which is?
It's a really famous Italian film.
Is this?
It's like the one about the Holocaust.
Life is Beautiful. No, I didn't watch
That was a
Life is
jam.
Beautiful.
It's technically a comedy film, and it's about like an Italian man who's like Italian and Jewish, and him and his wife and kid, they get taken to the concentration camps and get separated.
Hold up, let me look at because the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, it might even go by an Italian name too. I think it's like Bessimo, whatever fucking wife is. But
no, I don't think we're gonna wait. Yep, no. It's literally on my syllabus.
Oh yeah, can I spoil it for you?
Yes, it's the second to last movie we're watching.
You know what's funny? As soon as you said Journey Through Italian Cinema, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the number one movie is Life is Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's like the second to last or the last movie.
No, it's a movie about like a family and they're Jewish. They get taken into the concentration camps and they get separated.
Okay.
But while the son and the father are in the men's side of the camp, the father does his best to convey to the son that it's all just a game. So he basically is like, oh, we're going to go do this part of the game now. So the whole time that the son is in the concentration camp,
he thinks it's a game.
He doesn't know that he's actually in a concentration.
Oh, shit.
So it's actually a pretty like
that's pretty
heartfelt
pretty
thing.
Crazy.
And the movie unfortunately ends with the father being executed. But even it's like a really famous scene. Even when the father is going into the alleyway to get shot by the Jewish soldiers, by the German Nazis, he waves at the son and he's like he walks in to the bitter end. He shows his son everything is gonna be okay.
That's crazy.
And the movie ends. You find out that the mom survived and they get back
happy ending. Let's go.
You know, somewhat.
This whole
that movie kills you because the whole movie is just him being like endless positivity for his son in literally one of the most pessimistic situations of all time.
He's still strong,
and he still doesn't make it. But he even to the very end, he puts on the charade. But yeah, it's a really good film. I think the guy who I forgot his name, but the actor who played him, he actually won Best Actor at the Oscars that year, and it was a foreign film, so it was a big deal. But yeah, right. I wonder what the number one on your syllabus is then.
I don't know. That's that it might be it. I remember. I don't know where it is in the line.
Maybe it's the Italian Job. I think that's what it might be. It's either that or the Super Mario Brothers movie with John Leguizamo.
I'm his name.
Just like the pinnacle of Italian cinema.
I would love
Luigi.
I would love that the last I do my project on the worst Italian film. Honestly, I might actually have to ask her. Be like, what if I found the 3 worst Italian films of all time and did a project comparing the worst ones to the best ones?
Fuck yeah.
I'm actually going to try and do that.
Hell
see if
yeah,
that could work.
way better.
Instead of talking
Gives
about
us content here.
the fucking symbolism of this dude's lost bicycle.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
2 bikes with 1 fucking...
Yo, I guess I could kind of swing off that low key.
Yeah.
Not the Italian cinema,
No.
but from where you started the conversation about coming back and like adjusting, right?
Yeah.
I too had to come back to work. I had the day I flew back in. Unfortunately, something happened with like the hard drive. Oh, I know what it is. It's just hard drives are stupid, and some hard drives are specific and will only work with Mac, and some will only work with PC. You have to get specific ones that are interchangeable. The one that I brought wasn't, so I couldn't actually end up editing the Joystick show on the plane like I intended. So I had to edit the episode the night I got back, and then I had work the next day. So I too was also coming back into work, but I came in and I attempted on day 1 on Wednesday to teach my students ADR. You know what ADR is? It's like a film thing. I think it's automated dialogue replacement.
Yeah, when you go like over.
Yeah, you essentially like if audio is unusable, right? You watch yourself on a screen in a vocal booth and do your best to say the line back again and match it as best as possible so that they can put it right in. Right? Very, very standard process in film. And I was trying to teach my students it because we need to do it for like this. We're making like let me start with this. We're making a trailer. I told my students, I was like, I want to focus on a short piece of content. So I was like, we could either make a music video for a song that exists, we can make a commercial, or we can make a fake trailer.
Yeah,
and
a
I
short
wanted to do the
piece.
trailer.
Yeah.
So then they were like, it started pretty realistically, and then it turned into what you would expect a middle schooler's movie trailer to be like. So now it's like a movie about a student who goes to school and befriends a talking piece of paper, and after meeting the piece of paper, the paper confides in him that his family has been at war for generations with a clan of scissors. So he has to befriend the rocks. You know, you see where this is going, right? It's genius. Like it unfolded in front of me, and I was like, I love working with these fucking kids.
Holy shit, that's a deep fucking children's
concept.
concept.
So you ready for this? The paper's name is Blanky.
Yeah.
The scissors name is Chopper. Okay. You know who the rock's name is?
Rocky.
It's Dwayne the Rock Roxon. Yeah.
Way better than I thought it'd be.
And my contribution is I told them that the kids are allowed to voice Blanky and Chopper, but we are only going to use voice clips of Dwayne the Rock Johnson for Dwayne the Rock Roxon. So just like him in other movies, like it's go time.
Yeah. Why the fuck are you a Nickelodeon teacher? Like where? Like can I just say like this bullshit, this leeway you're getting is crazy. Like I'm just imagining showing up to school and it's like, hey, we're making a movie about a rock, paper, scissors.
I'm like fucking Psychowitz from Victoria.
Yeah, literally, bro. Fucking.
Hey, fucking get at me for making learning fun. Am I right?
We're gonna make a fucking snuff film next. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like,
all right, Billy, come here.
All right,
put this bag over your head.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You make horror, but you like actually fucking horrify.
Yeah.
It's like we were watching Hostel, and the kids were like, I really like Saw, you know, like.
First of all, before I go back on my tangent, those kids love those movies.
Of course
it's
they
ridiculous.
do.
They're like, I love Saw. Like no, like you're fucked up. But regardless, yeah, we're making this dumb rock paper scissors movie. I'm teaching them ADR, and what I'm getting at is on Wednesday I attempted to teach them, but they were just so chatty back and forth that I was like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. Last 20 minutes of class, I just sat in the back of the room and I was like, you talk, you leave, and that was it. And they stood silent for the last 20 minutes because I don't play that shit. I'm like, if you could believe it or not, I'm the drill sergeant at my job.
Yeah.
I don't see how that happened.
Homie, don't play that.
I think it's just because I'm the oldest one there now in terms of like how long I've been there, but whatever. But I don't play that shit. I'm like, you don't want to give me the opportunity to teach? We're not going to learn anything. That's that. So on Thursday, we had a second chance. You know, they were more into it, and we got some stuff done. I have a clip of them redubbing the Avengers, which is pretty fucking amazing. If you've ever wanted to see a
group of
dialogue between Iron Man and Thor, but in the style of 2 6th graders. Yeah. But where I'm getting at is I have this one student whose name I won't say due to privacy reasons.
Yes.
But I wish I could because this is actually like I'm giving him props. For what it's worth, he has a very interesting name. Like it's very long and very unique to him, but he goes by like a shorter regular name.
Okay.
So the
best Todd.
Yeah, sure. Todd. He's black, so Black Todd. So fucking this kid, the best way I could describe him, he's just full of energy, but like in the best ways. He's really creative. He's the one who came up with most of the ideas for the rock paper scissors movie. He's always like pitching in new ideas, and he wants to be involved in all these different facets. So we teach him the thing, and then we move on to the second class, which is like an animation class. So in that class, they play with Play-Doh and markers and stuff like that. But I had the microphone out, and he was like, people were just naturally like, oh, can I record like a silly voice? Because the microphone is there, so the kids come up and, blah, 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 and I record it for them or whatever. But then is like, yo, can I do my rap on it?
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. I said his name. I'll bleep it, but whatever. And then he's like, yo, can I do my rap on it?
All right, Todd.
Like, yeah, I'm like, all right, Todd, go for it. Dylan, this kid is a fucking incredible
He's a
rapper.
microphone fiend, bro.
I was blown away. Like, Dylan, legitimately. I was like, I pulled him aside at the end of the class, and I was like, don't stop doing this, dude. Like, keep at this. And I asked him, I was like, when did you write that? He was like, a year ago. And I was like, yeah. Like, I kid you not, he's like a little Mos Def. I was like, he was using like SAT level words and shit. He was like, God. His name was in the rap, and his name is like 4 syllables and shit like that. I was legitimately like, bro,
you fucking did it.
I'm kind of fucking annoyed that you're better at me than this.
You're gonna set up a fucking rap battle at
school,
yeah,
hell yeah. But nah, I just wanted to give my man props, because I don't know, it was one of those weird moments. I've had it happen to me before, but it's when that kid is like, you know, oh, I want to show you this or do this, and you're so used to, I guess, not to sound like a dick, but mediocrity, that when they actually show you,
very rarely does like a 12 to 13-year-old come up with like some heat, you
exactly
know?
But it's when they show you that dance that they have, or that video they made, and it's like, oh shit, this is like legit. And like, it is very I was proud. I was like my little artistic students. Yeah.
Your little.
So shout outs to young Mos Def, aka Black Todd.
Yeah.
Blod.
Blood. You're way more inspiring than, you know, no offense. I know Joey teaches like fucking like 3-year-olds, but you're always going to be way more inspiring.
Like non-conscious children.
Yeah, just fucking just blocking the wrong hole.
I appreciate that genuinely, but at the same time, I also give Joey a lot of credit, because you have to keep in mind he's teaching like babies.
Yeah, it's a longer day. It's very much like a fucking.
It's not even the longer day. First of all, it is the longer day, but that day's even longer because of considering what you're doing.
And then he like sets up the room after, and then he goes home after, and then like tutors a kid, and then shows us for some weird reason. Like, what the fuck's that about?
God, I love Joey. He's like the pre-K teacher you would have never expected to be a pre-K teacher, because he also never expected to be a pre-K teacher.
Yeah. I feel like he needs to bring more of like the stuff you see on like the Insta and like the goth
also
things.
Remind me,
he needs to bring them into the classroom.
Please remind me to tell you something off podcast that will actually make you shit your pants laughing, but I cannot say right now.
Okay, you're going to remember after?
That's what I'm saying. I need you to remind me, okay?
I'm ready to fill my diaper, bro. I'm ready.
Yeah. Fucking I can't say
you can't
I cannot say
we cannot envelop.
I can say this real quick, something I wanted to talk about. Actually, I mentioned to Dylan that this was going to be a kind of related topic, because I know you want to speak about something that's on El Sign, and what I wanted to talk about is slightly related to what you have to talk about. So why don't you just get to it, since it's on the sign, and then I'll jump in after
I feel like more importantly, it's not necessarily what's on the sign, but it's about what the fuck you're wearing right now.
Oh, my little
fake jersey.
My fake Mike Piazza Mets. Fucking, I don't know if you can even see it. But
linen jersey.
There you go.
Yeah.
We had a second one of these that said Rosario on the back.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I mean, the cool thing is, though, is that the Mets for a year and a half, they had a prospect called Ahmed Rosario, who did end up playing for a year and a half. But the reason why Bobby is wearing that, the reason why the sign's out of baseball, is because one of the most pinnacle moments in both, not only, it's weird because North America really doesn't give a fuck, but the other Americas care a lot.
Specifically the one under us, and the one in the middle.
Yeah, and then also Asia also cares quite a bit about it, and that is the World Baseball Classic, also known as... How
often does this happen?
I think it's like every 4, I think. Okay. I think it's like every 2, every 4 usually.
So this is going to be my first time watching. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, so right now it's the group stages. So like everyone's already qualified, and now it's just all of the best teams trying to see who makes it to like the quarter, semi, and then finals. So there's different groups and different teams. Mike Piazza is the manager for the national Italian team.
Okay.
The Italian team has dramatically lost 2 games in a row, and now they might not make it, and I'm very upset about it. But the Italian team is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. First off, sickest jerseys ever.
Okay.
Like Puerto Rico, great team. Dominican Republic, amazing team. Puerto Rico's got like the ugliest fucking jerseys.
I haven't seen.
They have like the letter, like they picked a weird font. They picked like a very corporate font. It's like strange. But yeah,
it's like Arial.
The Italian team. Imagine every Italian American in like the tri-state area, and they were like, "What if we made a baseball team?"
Yeah,
and that's exactly what this is. Like, there's like maybe 3 or 4 players that are actually from Italy. Everyone else just has the Italian.
They're just fucking.
They have the name.
20 or 30-year-olds.
Yes,
fucking...
they're literally just Italian men who play baseball, which are most people who play baseball in New York and New Jersey.
Exactly.
And it's just fucking so comical. Just like, because like all the announcers are like, now Mike Piazza's really going to show that they need baseball in Italy. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they'll be offended. You have the national Italian team. You got Mike Mastrioni hits a double and he's like, hey! Like, that's the thing. You know how like they have like a chant? They go like this.
I think the country of Italy's been doing just fine without baseball.
They crack the pepper. You know, like everyone has like their, oh yeah, you've seen people do that before, right? But they don't crack the pepper.
Grate the cheese. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop.
They're making the pizza.
Is that enough? I don't think it's enough.
They're eating prosciutto on the field. No, but that's their thing when they hit like a double or a home run. It's that. One guy was like, I'm half Italian, so I can only do this. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing. But it's also incredible. So it's very lenient. There's a pitcher that used to pitch for the Mets. He used to pitch for a bunch of different people. He went from U.S. to Puerto Rico because his parents are Puerto Rican. So he's like, I'm just going to...
Yeah.
Even though he's black, he's like, I'm going to play for Puerto Rico. And now he's like, there's several people on the Puerto Rican team they were on the American team 4 years ago.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. And now they're just like... The fact that Puerto Rico got its own team, by the way, is like, you really got to kick our ass, don't you?
We got one. I mean, look, if we're being real... Puerto Rico deserves its team if it's baseball, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm surprised that when we went to DR, I didn't see fucking baseball fields everywhere. You know what I mean? I was like upset about it. I was like, where the fuck's the baseball, dude?
Our resort, bro. They have one.
But and I did look on the map. It's like when we were driving to like the beach for the boat, we were like, if we kept driving, we would have hit all of the like all the camps and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of team. Netherlands is actually quite good because they have all the islands.
Mm-hmm.
Taiwan is really good. Japan's really good. Korea's really good. North Korea doesn't have a team, sadly.
Any other like European teams or just Netherlands?
Netherlands, that's it. Europe's not good at baseball.
No, that's why I asked.
It's Italy. It's
no African teams.
No, it's honestly Italy and Netherlands are the only European teams, and both of those teams, all of their players are not from those countries. The Netherlands, it's all like Curacao, Aruba.
Does Canada have a team?
I don't think they made it. I don't think they made it.
But they would have made the hockey.
Yeah, they do have like 5 or 6 really good players, but I don't think they made it. I at least
it's like half a team.
They may have not started yet. I'm not sure because like different ones started different times. But yeah, I'm gonna predict that Puerto Rico or Venezuela win. Both those teams are completely stacked.
Puerto Rico won the game today against Nicaragua. I think it was 9-1 or something like that. So.
Yep. With Nicaragua, they have like 3 good players.
And for what it's worth, you were the one that posted that thing on Instagram like earlier this week where it was like the highlights from that one World Baseball Classic where it was New York for USA versus DR, was it?
Yeah.
Well,
and US won.
Yeah, and just watching those highlights was mad hype because that game was just back and forth the entire time, and I was like, I'm about to watch the fucking World Baseball Classic.
And the Dominican Republic team, they had too many players. Like they were too good. And like 3 guys got injured, and then they put all-star level players in those guys' positions. Like that's how stacked that team is. But I never root for the favorites.
Another thing that I thought was funny isn't like watching some of the baseball stuff in preparation for the Baseball Classic. I start to recognize certain baseball players by face, but the only reason I recognize them is in my head. I'm like, that's from that video Dylan showed me about something that's not related to baseball. So like I saw like Andrew McCutcheon's on the field and I'm like, it's the furry guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I see Trevor May and I'm like, it's fucking Tim the Tap Man's friend. Like I don't
like, he played Fortnite, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know them as baseball players.
No, and it's like, especially now where like baseball's a little different because it's like I feel like in other sports they do more extracurricular stuff. But you're right, there are a lot of athletes that like they're known for other stuff now, and it's pretty interesting where it's like someone could be like, oh, it's that guy, but they don't know them from the actual sport, or they know them by face. They don't know them by like their name. Ramirez or Ramirez or Ramirez. A lot of the what's it called? The Venezuelan teams like that too. It's like everyone has like the same like 4 last names.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
though,
shout outs to Alvarez.
Oh, is that the name?
Yeah. But yeah, I hope it's good. I mean, I'm gonna be watching. I wish Italy was better.
Excited.
I wish Italy didn't suck.
I'm down.
Fucking Italy, man.
Bro, just go for the Irish team, you know. Oh really? Fucking in the same vein of sports, like you were saying, I told you earlier that before we started the podcast that March is like it's not just March because I looked it up and like there's so many good movies coming out this year.
Yeah.
And I was like, it really feels like for whatever reason 2023 is like the first real year after COVID that like movies are coming out at a real concurrent rate. Like the March alone we're getting like 4 or 5 blockbuster films. It's pretty crazy.
Whereas back in the day, that was like a normal thing where like movies would have to like they would come out the same week and have to fight over fucking ratings. And
so stuff. A lot of big stuff came out this week or this month. Even the ones that haven't come out yet. We have Scream 6 which Joey went to go see. I'm sure he'll be telling us a lot about that.
I gotta see that.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which I want to check out. Considering Shazam was actually one of the better. Some would even consider it the best DC movie to come out of those that batch. The one that I'm arguably the most excited for, John Wick 4. Holy fuck. I'm like literally I'm literally checking Fandango every single day to check when I can get my ticket to that movie because I'm so fucking excited. But
show up in costume.
The other movie that came out this month that I'm very excited to see that it's already come out and I have not gotten the chance yet is Creed 3. In preparation to watch the movie, I watched Creed 1 and Creed 2 back to back yesterday.
I have not seen Creed 2.
I had seen Creed 1. I hadn't seen Creed 2. Creed 2 is a lot of fun. I think I still like the first one better. But in just watching that movie, because considering I'd seen the Rocky films, like, my dad is a gigantic boxing fan. He loves
obviously
those movies.
You were fucking strapped down
I
and
grew
forced
up
to
with
watch
it.
it.
But fucking, to watch the Creed movies, there's not only so... It's weird because especially Creed 1, it's such a great film on its own. It's just a great movie. Mm-hmm. But then how it acts as a love letter to the Rocky series at the same time, with like the fucking, I forgot what the name of the song is, but the strings in the back that just act as like motifs that add as like extra layers to the original movies, how older characters are reintroduced in interesting ways and stuff like that. And in thinking about that, I was like, not for nothing, the Creed trilogy might just be one of the best, if not the best, sports trilogy of all time. And then I started going down a massive rabbit hole of what are considered to be some of the best sports movies of all time.
This is interesting that you bring this up because this is something that's popped up in my recommended lately on YouTube, and I think it's just because of what I watch. Considering I watch movies and I watch a lot of sports, I feel like that's inevitable. But yeah.
So, I mean, just to take one in particular, is there like, I guess to swing it into what we were talking about, when you think baseball, is there a baseball movie that jumps in your head as being your favorite or?
That's the thing. There's not a lot of baseball movies that like they're all good, but none of besides like bench warmers, none of them do it for me.
Well, to be honest, I have a favorite baseball movie, but it's funny in that not a lot of baseball gets played. Yeah, and that's Moneyball.
Yes,
which is probably one of your favorite.
That would be my favorite sports movie. It's not even about the sport, really.
But it is in a different light. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I enjoy it so much because they're able to take the managerial side of sports and make it just as hype and dramatic as the sport itself.
And even though they had to, it's one of those movies where it's like, I don't like that it's based off a real thing because they had to change so much about it. Like they lie, it's like they had to lie about certain things. They didn't focus on the fact that like the team was actually really good and that's why they were like a playoff team. It wasn't because he did all this little shit.
Yeah.
It was because they were actually good. But And also, there were a ton of other things wrong with that movie. But yeah, baseball movies, I would say that. Any of like the children's type ones, like Bad News Bears, The Sandlot, the newer Bad News Bears. Like I feel like those movies are really good, but they also got remade into oblivion. Fucking Chadwick Boseman, 42.
Oh yeah,
totally forgot. Totally slipped my mind. Yeah, that would probably be it.
I mean, there's even more classics too, right? Like A League of Their Own.
Major League.
Field of Angels.
Major League 1 and 2 are the funniest.
No, yeah,
those movies
comedies.
are fucking hysterical, bro. I remember watching those movies.
But it's funny, now you have me thinking of like sports comedies.
There's like
and now
there's several Babe Ruth ones that are really good.
Now you have me thinking of sports comedies, and I'm thinking like Blades of Glory is one of my favorite sports movies of all time.
It's a sports movie, yeah.
You know?
It is. It's competitive sports.
You think of dodgeball, even them taking away more like niche sport, but it adds even extra elements of the underdog story and all that shit, you know.
Yeah. With John Wick coming out, I would like to give a shout out to one of the most underappreciated sports movies of all time. And that is The Replacements, which football movies in general I feel like are really good. You have The Longest Yard.
It's classic.
We Are Marshall. I'm just trying to think of like
Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Radio.
And and in like half of the movies, it's always like everyone died on the team. Like that's every plot. And in The Replacements, it's like it's like
Bro, what about The Blind Side?
Yeah.
My favorite sports movie.
Oh God! I think that one is kind of true. That one, I feel like that one is like
it just has nothing to do with sports.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't. Well, but yeah, the Replacements starring Keanu Reeves, by far one of the most underrated films of all time. Fucking hysterical film. At least from when I remember it when I was 6 years old. It was really, 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 really funny. And I don't remember the entire plot, but I believe it's like the strike and the union thing where it's like the whole team striked and they had to make a whole new team.
Yeah.
So you had Keanu Reeves, who was like actually a really good quarterback with all of just these misfits.
Yeah.
And their team actually ended up being really good because they got a track star to be the wide receiver. They got a really buff dude to be the running back and no one could tackle him. They got a soccer player to be the kicker, and it
play
actually
to their strengths. That's it.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know how much I used to love Space Jam, thinking of basketball films. Also, Hustle with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie? You actually should check that out.
Okay, I've seen Semi Pro.
Semi-Pro is great too.
The best way I could just kicking and screaming. I was on the plane, bro.
What's up with these Will Ferrell sports movies? Fucking no. The thing with A Hustle is it really is like the Rocky of basketball films, and I think you of all people would love it because it tells a story about sports that doesn't usually get told, and that's the process of scouting.
Yeah.
Because the whole story about it is it's an interesting like last chance effort because Adam Sandler's character is like I think he's been an assistant coach for the 76ers for years and he's trying to move up and getting this player is like his last chance at like getting the promotion that he needs. And so the movie starts with him flying to all these different countries around the world, checking out different players and scouting them out. And it's not until he finds a street ball player in South America that he actually finds somebody who he thinks could be big.
Yeah.
But then it turns into like an underdog story where the both of them have to like train together, the young guy so that he could play in the NBA and the older guy so that he could become a coach.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking incredible movie.
That's
and
wild.
Considering it's Adam Sandler, it's very serious.
Oh, I mean, it's
very high reviews too.
It sounds very serious.
And to add more to the Rocky things, the 76ers, it's in Philadelphia. So there's like a lot of motifs to Rocky and the whole underdog story too.
Oh, wow.
And it's done in like a really tasteful way where it's like you kind of make the correlation yourself and it's not like, oh, Rocky, you know what I mean?
It's kind of really, like it's the vibe of Rocky.
Exactly,
it's not necessarily.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really cool. Because like a lot of those like serious basketball movies kind of rub me the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Because they're really cliche.
It feels
they show a lot of clips of like. I feel like the key of the sports movie is that you only show the game being played to push the story forward.
Yeah.
If most of the movie is the game being played, I'd watch baseball.
Yeah,
I'd
and
watch
also
basketball.
I don't really like at the other end of that spectrum when the movie's just all not the sport and it's just like what's happening in the outside lives, and then like the sport is just the last 20 minutes of the movie,
Oh yeah, the sport. I always wondered like how those are like those must be like really interesting to film. Because like they're probably
The
filmed out of
actual
order
sports.
and stuff like that
Yeah.
sometimes and things like that. So it's like, oh, go back up and change the score
Well,
on
it's
the
funny because
on the scoreboard.
before you brought that up, I was gonna mention the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie that's coming out, which I don't know the name of it, but he's playing a UFC fighter.
Oh.
And a few weeks ago, they did an actual UFC weigh-in, and at the end of it, a film crew came on, and while they still had everybody up there, while Dana White is still up there, and while the fighters are still up there, Jake Gyllenhaal comes in, and the guy who plays his opponent, and they film their fake weigh-in right after, you know.
That's cool.
And then there was the John Jones fight that happened in DR while we were out there.
Yeah.
And after the fight was over, Jake Gyllenhaal got into the ring with the opponent, and they filmed the fake fight at the UFC event.
That's crazy.
And they had the audience like cheer and all that shit with the actual referee inside and stuff. So I'm interested in seeing it because it looks like they're going a very like what's the word, realistic route with it, obviously getting all of the UFC licensing and rights and Dana White and the people, but keeping in that vein. I remember going, I think I talked about it on the podcast like very long time ago, but my dad and I went to that Nets game where Ronnie Chang was filming a movie that has a basketball scene in it. Yeah, and then we're like just there watching it, and we're like, is that fucking Jarrett Allen on the fake Nets? And there's like other real basketball players who are just fake basketball players for a fake team.
Yeah.
So at first we're up in the stands like, are those just like actors? And then we're like, no,
No,
those are
the
professional
actual
basketball
players.
players just not playing themselves.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And it was funny. So I'm really like excited for that movie to come out so I can watch it and be like, I'm in that crowd somewhere.
Oh,
and I sold that shit. He was on the screen. He's like, I really need you guys to sell it, you know? So please, I'm a big Brooklyn Nets fan. So every time one of them dunked, I'm like, let's go. Let's fucking go Nets. And it's funny because they're supposed to be the Nets and they're like wearing completely different colored jerseys. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's fucking hysterical. Oh, I just remembered fucking Miracle.
What's that?
It's about the 1980 hockey team when they beat Russia.
Oh
yeah. I forget. I don't even know if that's what it's fucking called, but you know.
I'm not too familiar with the hockey movies. I know
it's,
the Duck one.
It's Mighty Ducks, that, and Goon. Those are the only ones.
I know
Everything
Goon, I know
with
Goon,
Sean William Scott.
yeah.
Those are the only ones. Every other hockey movie, it's like I will give it a 1 out of 10 because it's
Gotcha,
like I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be good,
Mhm.
or it'd be like too Canadian. You'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what that is, right? Okay, let's go. It's that kid from that video that Jose loves. Do you know about that?
Deeper?
Jose posted this video, but then I took it upon myself to go, way deeper into just the video.
Yeah.
So Jose has this video that he fucking loves, and it's these two European dudes. Well, let me clarify this. It's these two European people. One of them is like a 30, maybe 40-year-old balding man, and the other one is like a 13-year-old kid.
Okay.
And they have this room. I'm just going to explain the video, how it looks and sounds first, and then I'll tell you the backstory.
Okay.
They have this room with a long table, and it's just full of like Lego rides, like roller coasters and Ferris wheels and stuff like that.
Okay. The video as you're describing it, it's like all the puzzle pieces
Yeah,
are coming
back
back
together.
going up.
Because I've seen this
Yeah,
video,
yeah,
but
yeah,
Jose
yeah.
came over the other day and explained the backstory to me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And in the video, it's it starts off with the old guy, and one of the rides starts, and he has a microphone in his hand that's attached to like a speaker with an effects system. So he's like, like a hype man for the coaster.
Yeah. I've heard that.
And then the most memeable part is then the 13-year-old kid comes and he goes on the mic and he's like, "Okay, let's go."
Okay, let's go.
He says like super unenthusiastically. So Jose explained to me that whatever country they're from, it's like it's like a Northern European country, so like Dutch, Netherlands, something like that. Amusement parks in that country, they have like hype people at the rides. So the people who operate the rides have microphones and they're like, "We're going left, we're going right."
Yeah.
So these two dudes have, this is their hobby where they take Lego rides, they build them, and then they pretend like they're the machine operators.
Yeah.
But they don't know each other, Dylan. This 13-year-old boy and this adult man are complete strangers that just have the same exact hobby. So they got highlighted on this show, and it's like the most fucking socially awkward thing ever. Because they're just, they put them together like, you guys like the same thing, and they're just there like, yeah,
That makes so much fucking sense. I mean,
and the thing is they're hype men, but they're like, man,
they're
let's
awkward.
go.
Yeah. That's so strange. I always wonder about like videos like that. Like a lot of like every out of context video.
Oh, yeah.
There is context.
There's a deeper story.
And it's not great. Like, you know what I mean?
It's rarely
It's
great.
always like someone fucked up.
Yeah.
And someone did something wrong, and that's why it's a meme now. You know, or it's like it's never like, oh, look at this beautiful thing, and it became a meme, you know?
That reminds me of one last thing I wanted to bring up.
Oh, okay.
And that was the rise and fall of Tobuscus for
Oh,
whatever
okay.
reason. It's this video I saw recently that I forgot the guy's name. I think it's the June or like the King June or something.
Oh, my boy, I know this guy.
But he
yeah.
makes these really long, detailed, like hour-and-a-half long documentary style videos that chronicle the rise and fall of famous
Jeb
YouTubers.
the King, June the
something
King,
like that.
something like that.
So he's done one for like Rooster Teeth and H3H3.
He's
and
done
all
a
that.
lot, yeah.
So he did one for Tobuscus, and I was just
Well, the H3 one is a little weird because it's like H3 still doing well.
Yeah.
So that one's a little strange. I'm like,
So the Tobuscus one I was just naturally curious about because that was a content creator I used to watch when I was like 12, 13 years old. And what I really wanted to focus on is like his fall, I guess, because
Yeah.
I had heard a bunch of stuff. There was allegations that he had like raped somebody, allegations that he had spiked drinks,
Mm-hmm.
which he did. He's always been like a very serial user of like Molly and drugs and stuff like that. But where I'm getting at is the video spends a decent amount of time explaining how he like started the channel, and a big part of Tobuscus was that character he played.
Yeah.
They're like, hey guys, that like, you know, childlike, energetic, almost like a TV children's show presenter, right?
yeah.
But then as like time went on and he went fucking insane, he decided that he wanted to start like making content that was a little bit more politically skewed.
Mm-hmm.
So like he has like a video where he met Kyle Rittenhouse like after the whole thing, and he like hung out with him. He has like a video where he
didn't
talks
even know
about
about
the vaccines and how he's like anti this and all that and all this shit. But the thing is
Forgot
he,
he's been making videos.
he does
this
them
whole time.
all
in
in the style of Tobuscus as the vlog. So he's like, you know, the fucking mask, you know, put it on. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Breathe through it, you know? Yeah, I hung out with Kyle Rittenhouse. We're just two guys. You never ever thought to yourself that we could just be two men that have like, you know, similar agendas, similar things that we like, you know? But my favorite thing is that he's painfully aware of the fact that he's like completely like canceled and out of the system. Yeah. So like when he starts his videos, he's always like, hey, how you doing? I know the YouTube algorithm didn't show you this, so you had to look up Tobuscus on the search engine. So you're probably just wondering how I'm doing. So here you go. Here's how I'm doing. You want to stick around for the rest of the video? Probably not. You're probably going to click off right now. He's like a fucking crazy person, Dylan.
Yeah. But to be honest, though, it's like he didn't really have a choice. Like the choices he had were to reform and get another job and not in the spotlight of the internet, or like I guess he could have done what he's doing without the character.
Yeah,
but I feel like,
but that's weirdly enough, that's what the video even says. The video talks about how badly and how like obsessively he wanted to be famous, so that he never gave it up. But like how lost he got in the character that he can't even stop doing the character now that he's focusing on this more mature, edgier content. He's still like trapped in it. It's kind of crazy.
But I mean, that's I guess not the sad part because it's like he fucked it up, but he did make it. Like, he was big. He made
like,
a lot of money on YouTube.
He was literally PewDiePie before PewDiePie.
Yeah,
and then
made
PewDiePie came out, and it was like the whole PewDiePie versus Tobuscus thing, and then he fell off, and it turned into PewDiePie versus Markiplier, and whoever the
gas gamer, and then he became a memer, and then that's when he probably sprung up. But like that is.
And just another like fun, interesting fact. You know the actor Alan Ritchson? He's the guy who plays Jack Reacher. He's in Laser Team, like the really handsome dude. They went to high school together, and they were good friends. And since Tobuscus had always like had the passion for acting, they used to like act on a lot of the same performances together, and they even participated in acting competitions. And Toby actually won the majority of them.
Interesting.
Because of just how like seriously he took it, and it's kind of funny to see like where they both ended up now, right?
Well, I mean, hey, one of them was on Laser Team, and the other hung out with Kyle Rittenhouse that one time. So they're both doing well, I feel.
One of them was in Laser Team, and one of them probably met somebody who was in Laser
Yeah.
Team. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and then I said the last thing already, but another funny thing was they showed an interview clip where Harley Morenstein from Epic Mealtime was doing an interview where he basically said that at one point Tobuscus was like the Great Gatsby of YouTube and would throw these like weekend-long parties at his house every single week, and that they started to go to some at the beginning, but even some of the Epic Meal crew they started to get like the vibe that something really bad was going to happen at one of these. So they were trying to be like, maybe we shouldn't go anymore. And he was like, the one thing that we saw when we went that we were all like, nah, we got to get out of here, is he was like, at the time we walked into the backyard and one of the cast members from Fine Bros Teens React was in the hot tub doing drugs with the other adult content creators. And we all just looked at each other and we were like, nope, we're out. And we just walked the fuck out. And in that moment, I was like, how fucking smart are the Epic Meal guys? I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and they got, I mean, no.
I mean, he's a substitute teacher, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but they were like, let's get the fuck out of here.
But it's time for Jam and Yam.
It is.
I can go first. I have my jam preloaded. I discovered my jam in the Dominican Republic.
Nice.
And it's a jam and jam. And that song is going to be, I had to scroll down for it.
Yeah.
It's Spit in My Face by ThxSoMch. Spelled THX, MCH.
Nice.
So that's my jam of the week.
Wonderful. I had to look up the artist of my yam because I completely forgot it. But it's Halo by J. Kim.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds like a pretty chill rapper, but he's like a slightly chubby Asian dude. I don't know what it is with Asian people and making good rap music, but keep at it.
Yeah, no.
Song's mad catchy.
They get that shit. I don't understand it.
Mad good sample in the background. You know
so
how
Halo's
it is.
the artist. Or the song is Halo.
The song is Halo.
Oh,
By
by
Jake.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Baby,
Put it
I
on.
see your Halo.
By Rihanna.
Umbrella. Hey. It took me a really long time to think of a Rihanna song, and then I picked that one. We found love in a hopeless place. Shout out to high school when Dylan used to sing "We Found Dove in a Soapless Place." Definitely something you said to me multiple times.
It's this clean, refreshing feeling I can't deny, bro.
Thanks for watching the Joystick Show. We really hope you find Dove in a Soapless Place. If you really like this episode of the Joystick Show, episode 132, go ahead and like it, like we told you at the beginning, and it'd be helpful if you
still
could
the thumb, right?
It is still the thumb.
Still the thumb.
You click it, I think it turns blue or something.
Yeah.
And go ahead and subscribe.
Highlighted.
It's the subscribe button, but then when you click it, a little D pops up at the end of the word, and it says subscribed. It's like past tense.
Yeah.
It shows you did it. I should do that thing that the content creators do where they pull up the graph.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you guys know 95% of you aren't subscribed to the Joystick Show? Because only 5 of you watch.
Yeah. I love those videos too, because it's like some people are like, damn, I cannot believe no one subscribed. And it's like you make slowed and reverb the music. Like, why would people subscribe to you?
But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. We will catch you next week, 133, where hopefully it'll be a non-solo episode because it's been like 3 weeks without these fuckers. We need to find out what they're up to. Yeah. It's hard anchoring the show, you know. It's hard being the Phelps of this podcast.
Yeah. Does that make me Ryan Lochte?
That's exactly what it makes you. Yeah. Let's go shave your pubes.
I mean, I guess it's time to go smoke some weed now, isn't it?